Hey guys, Courtney with Leviathan Snakes, and today we're going to be revealing the parentage of our first clutch of 2023, our Who's Your Daddy clutch. This clutch was laid in November, and we have absolutely no idea who sired it. Well, I do, you don't. We have two options of dads, and then the possibility of it being a parthenogenic clutch. So if you are interested in finding out, go ahead and join us for the video. Naira is a super mystic girl that we got in order to pair to our Butter Mojave male. We wanted mystic potions and bells out of this pairing, and we have a really good market for those animals, but we never have enough for the demand. So we figured we'd add on one more clutch of bells and mystic potions this year, and we picked up Naira from a couple that we had met at a Show Me Snake show. Super nice. She's a beautiful girl. She was up to size when we got her. I believe she's already 4 years old when we got her. She'd never been paired before. And as soon as we got her, she immediately was eating fantastic. She did great in our quarantine hold rack. And before we moved her into like the main area, we got another snake. So she ended up getting additional time in our quarantine rack. And when we finally brought her out here, and we'd had her for a couple of months, we ultrasounded her, and she was already at like 29 millimeter follicles. And so we were like, oh no, we need to get a pairing in now so we can fertilize these eggs. And we put Louie, our Butter Mojave male, in with her. We never witnessed a lock. We didn't want her to get, you know, too far past the 30 mil. We didn't want her to get to 40 millimeters without a lock. So we decided to introduce our female maker banana OD NG asphalt male Atlas to her. Again, we never saw a lock, but those follicles just kept building. So what we hoped is that one of them had gotten a quick lock in that we had missed. She ovulated, she was looking big and huge, and she was due to lay in November, and we had four options. Either we were going to get a clutch of slugs, a parthenogenic clutch, a clutch of banana mystics, or a clutch of bells and mystic potions. There was one that's probably a slug. It's a boob. There's like a little bit of... Okay, so we got... Okay. When November rolls around, she lays those eggs, and we go ahead and knock out that possibility of a clutch of slugs. Reasons we think this might be a partho clutch: we never saw a lock, which also could be that there was one lock that we didn't witness, and that's why we have so many slugs. We think it might be a partho clutch because not only are there a lot of slugs, but we have two like boob eggs that are really weird looking. Like if you look here, this actually looks like two eggs kind of fused together. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. It's possible that this is a partho clutch because we've got two funky looking eggs, and partho clutches are notorious for having like funky outcomes. We definitely don't want funky outcomes. We definitely want healthy animals and healthy moms. So hopefully...
but if it is partho, there's nothing we could have...
there's nothing we could have done about that. We did have 3 fertile eggs that we went ahead and incubated with a due date of January 8th. Because there were so many slugs, Steven's guess was this was going to be a parthenogenic clutch. My guess was that we had only gotten one quick lock in, and that's why only a couple eggs were fertilized. Again, she was due the 8th, so I believe we cut on the 5th.
So what's going on?
We are doing an egg cutting, which, you know, we don't really do a lot of egg cutting videos, but this is a unique clutch because we don't know who the sire of it is. These eggs came from our super mystic girl Naira. We never saw a lock. We paired her with our Butter Mojave male and our banana asphalt NG orange dream male. We never saw a lock with either of those. There were a lot of slugs in this clutch and a couple boob eggs that went bad. So we have no idea what we're gonna get out of this clutch, and we're really curious to see if it's parthenogenesis, or who sired it, if anyone. You ready?
Yep.
Wait, who do you think? What's your
Partho.
guess? Okay, so if we get any super mystics, immediately we know it's a partho clutch. If we get an all white snake, we know it was Louis. If we get a banana
Or
anything else, we know it was our Aswell boy. All right, you want to get in on this? No, it's a super mystic and it's kinked. Yep. Okay. So we got a bunch of
Partho.
Yep. So these eggs are being cut because they would not have hatched. I don't believe.
I don't think so either.
Oh. That one actually looks
Pretty good.
pretty good so far. And normally we've already had pip outs by day 57, 58, and we did not have any. So we were a little worried about what that meant. We cut them, and what we found inside was 3 super mystic female babies. So what we got was a parthenogenetic clutch. All of these babies are replicas of their mother. All 3 are female. We haven't sexed any of them, but they're all super mystic. They're all going to be female because mom can only pass on X chromosomes. In parthenogenesis, it is when an embryo develops from an unfertilized egg. She fertilizes the egg herself without a male partner. Because of this, the babies will be replicas of her. They're not clones. They're not exact genetic replicas, but they only have her genes to pass on to them. Because of that lack of diversity in the genetic makeup, there is a much higher risk for adverse mutations, and in this case 2 of the babies did not make it out of the egg. They were not healthy. They were a little kinked, but just very, very small, just not formed correctly. We do have one snake that did make it out of the egg. It is 28 grams. She is very small. She does not look unhealthy though. We're going to keep an eye on her. We are going to take as good of care of her as we can and make sure she thrives as best as we can. But yeah, so we got 1 super mystic female out of that clutch. She isn't a snake we would ever consider breeding or selling as a breeder because of that lack of genetic diversity. She's as inbred as they come, so we aren't comfortable selling her as a breeder snake. If we were to ever rehome her, it would be to a pet-only home. But yeah, so that is the results of our Who's Your Daddy clutch. There is no daddy. So Naira is our first clutch of the year, and it was a parthenogenic clutch. It was our first partho clutch, which is pretty cool, but we hope it doesn't happen again. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you've ever gotten a partho clutch yourself, go ahead and tell us about it in the comments. We'd love to hear how it turned out for you. Hopefully it was a little more positive of an experience. We really enjoy making these videos, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Courtney with Leviathan Snakes, and have a great week.